Hey gaming fans, so today I have a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. This is for the Edison format, and it's Dark Worlds. I wanted to try to see if I could build somewhat of a Dark World deck in the Edison format. It's a pretty good format. I want to try and build some more decks in this format. I like Goat as well, but I just thought this one might be a little bit more fun. So we start off, we get 2 Battle Faders. Really just to save yourself from if your opponent attacks, of course, but it also gives you tribute fodder if you need to actually tribute summon one of your Dark World monsters that's level 5, so I figured that should be good. Then we got a Morphing Jar. Obviously, if you discard your hand and you have a bunch of Dark World monsters, you're going to get all their effects off. Or if you just run out of cards and you need to refill your hand, it comes in handy for that too. Of course, we got one Sangan. He will grab your Morphing Jar or your Battle Fader. So, you know, really good card to have, just in case. I put 2 Brow Huntsman of the Dark World. He's basically, if you discard him with a card effect, you get to draw an extra card. So, or if it's through your opponent's card effect, you get to draw one more. And, you know, that'll probably won't happen very often, but you never know. Anyways, I put 2 in just because he can't special summon himself, but he does give you that extra draw. I was debating on having 3 though. There's 3 Beige, pretty much just there because he's a special summon if you discard him. And yeah, I mean 1600 attack is not the greatest, but it does give you that extra special summon if you need it. Then we got 2 Bronze. These guys will pretty much just help you to discard. So all you have to do is attack with it to do some damage to your opponent. Then you get to discard a card from your hand, so set off any of your Dark World effects. For the big guys, we got the 3 Golds. So basically, if he's discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded from your hand by your opponent's card effect, you could target 2 cards your opponent controls, special summon this card, then destroy those targets. Again, might not happen, but hey, if it does, it does. Same with Silva. He does the same thing, except he grabs cards out of your opponent's hands at random. So, I mean, both great effects if you can get them to pull off their secondary effect. Then I threw in a Dark Arm Dragon. Why not? We're playing tons of darks. We should be able to pull him off, you know, assuming we don't get too many darks in our grave. And then I put in the 2 guys that stay in your hand, Tragodia and Gores. Again, you know, in this deck you might not want to go off right away. You might want to hold the cards in your hand. So you'll need to, you know, kind of bait out your opponent. So this is what you're going to do with these guys. And for the spells, we got Allure of Darkness. Nothing really to say about this. You draw 2 cards, they banish one of your dark monsters. Just gets you deeper into the deck. Unfortunately, you can only play one in Edison format, but whatever. Same with Card Destruction. Really powerful card. This is the one you want to time properly. You don't want to play it too prematurely, especially if you get a ton of Dark World monsters in your hand. You got to wait for that critical time to just drop that bomb and get all those Dark Worlds out. And of course, we're going to play 3 Dark World Dealings. Again, you want to be strategic with this card. Each player draws a card and then discards a card. So you're going to pull off your Dark World monsters' effects right away. And, you know, really cool card. I decided to put in 1 Gateway to the Dark World. This is basically like your Monster Reborn of the deck. You target 1 Dark World in your graveyard, special summon that target. You cannot summon monsters the same turn you activate this effect. But you can normal set. So basically you want to set this card. It's a quick play. You want to set it, and then at the end of your opponent's turn, activate it. Or if your opponent's attacking you, you need to stay alive. Activate it then. Otherwise, you know, you might not, unless you're going to go for game. 3 Dark World Lightning. This is a cool card. Just select a face-down card on the field and destroy it. After that, select 1 card from your hand and discard it to the graveyard. Now, you got to be careful with this one, obviously, if you're targeting back row cards like Spell and Traps, because I believe if they activate the card in response to this, it doesn't end up destroying it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the ruling. But let me know down in the comments below if I'm wrong. But I think that's like if they do chain and activate the card, it doesn't actually destroy it anymore, and you don't get your discard effect. But you can turn their monsters face down, so I put in 3 Book of Moon. It's going to help you stay alive, and it's going to flip a monster face down, which makes it right for the picking for your Dark World Lightning. 1 Brain Control, because you get to steal your opponent's monster, and then if you have to, or if you want to, you contribute it off for one of your golds or silvers, and you know, get rid of that pesky monster, or just steal their monster and go for game. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, because you're only allowed 1 in Edison format. And for the traps, we got 1 Call It a Haunted, 1 Mind Crush. Now this is a fun one. I mean, if you know what's in your opponent's hand, you can rip the card out of their hand. Otherwise, it has a side effect, which is actually a good thing in your deck, because if you call the card wrong, like if you call the card name and they don't have that in their hand, you have to discard a card randomly from your hand. So, I mean, if the only cards left in your hand are Dark World monsters, you're going to get their effect off. So you might even activate this card and intentionally call the wrong card. Call Exodia the Forbidden One if they're not playing an Exodia deck, and you get to discard a card. And you can activate it during their turn, so kind of a fun one. 2 Bottomless Trap Holes, because you're only allowed to play 2, and just to, again, deal with monsters on the field. And more monster removal. Torrential Tribute and Mirror Force. So that was the deck that I came up with. You know, I'm sure it could use some work, but like I said, you know, Edison format's something fun to play around with. It's an interesting format, nonetheless. Let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.